Welcome back to Surgeon Biology classes. In the last class, we discussed about the phases of life cycle. So, juvenile phase, vegetative phase or reproductive phase, and senescent phase we discussed. The continuation part is that events in sexual reproduction we are discussing in this session. After attainment of maturity, all sexually reproducing organisms exhibit events and processes that are fundamentally similar. And even the sexual reproduction is very elaborate and a complex process because the fusion of gametes, and they has to fuse together and it forms a zygote, and the zygote has to be developed into embryo, and it's not an instant process, it's very complex process. And all sexually reproducing organisms will also express the three events. Let us discuss that which are the events are there in sexual reproduction. One is pre-fertilization, fertilization, and post-fertilization. There are three events. In pre-fertilization events, there is again two events, the gametogenesis and gamete transfer. And in fertilization, there are two sub-events. One is internal fertilization and external fertilization. Even instead of saying events, we can say the types of fertilization. And the third one is that the post-fertilization. So which includes again the two major events. One is the formation of zygote and another that is an embryogenesis. So let us discuss today about the pre-fertilization. The biology, it is completely stands on understanding terminologies. If you can able to understand the term, so the biology is over. So hence ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಸಾರಿ ನಾವು ಬಯಾಲಜಿ ವರ್ಡ್ಸ್ನ ಸ್ಪ್ಲಿಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಮೀನಿಂಗ್ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದು ಭಾಳ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಈಗ ಪ್ರೀ ಫರ್ಟಿಲೈಸೇಷನ್ ನಿಮಗೆ ಮುಂಚಿನ ತರಗತಿಗಳಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಹೈಸ್ಕೂಲಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲ ಓದಿದ್ದೀರಿ ನೀವು ಫರ್ಟಿಲೈಸೇಷನ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಏನು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. ಅಂದರೆ ಫ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಮೇಲ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಫೀಮೇಲ್ ಗ್ಯಾಮೆಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಫರ್ಟಿಲೈಸೇಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಓದಿದ್ದೀರಿ ಅಲ್ವಾ. ಸೊ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಫರ್ಟಿಲೈಸೇಷನ್ ಅಂತೀವಿ. ಅದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಮುಂಚೆ ಆಗ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಪ್ರೋಸೆಸ್ ಏನು? ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ gametogenesis and gamete transfer. So let us discuss in detail about this gametogenesis and gamete transfer. Again, the splitting of terms. Gametogenesis. What does it mean of gametogenesis? Gametes, genesis, generate or production. Means, which are those the gametes? Gametes are nothing but the male gamete is called sperm or antherzoid, and female gamete is called egg or ovum. That's it. Okay. And where they are going to be produced. So means that the gametogenesis means the process of formation of gametes is called gametogenesis ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಕರಿತೀವಿ ಅಲ್ವಾ. So gametogenesis, where it occurs? So obviously in gonads. The male gonad is called an testis and female gonad is called ovary. Okay. Next. In some algae, you can see the gametes which are produced that are morphologically similar. And such gametes we can call as Homo gametes or isogametes. And in sexually reproducing organisms where the gametes are produced, they are morphologically dissimilar. And such gametes we can call as anisogametes or heterogametes. So I have drawn a diagram here, just you can look at here. The homogametes means the male gamete and female gamete, you cannot differentiate, they look same. And such gametes we can call as in homogametes. So, okay. And so an example you can give here, a chlamydomonas and urothrix, and you can give a number of examples. And when it comes to the heterogametes, just you look here, the male gamete is a sperm or antherzoid and female gamete is called an egg. Okay. And where the morphologically they are completely different. And such gametes we can call as in heterogametes or anisogametes. The sexuality of it will be in animals and in plants. Sexuality in organisms ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಸೊ in sexuality in plants ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿದಾಗ, so we can study the two terms. One is that homothallic and heterothallic. What does it mean of homothallic and heterothallic? Homothallic is nothing but ನಾವು ಮುಂಚೆ ಕಲ್ತಿದ್ದೀವಿ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ, ಬೈಸೆಕ್ಷುವಲ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಯೂನಿಸೆಕ್ಷುವಲ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಕಲ್ತಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವಾಗ ಬೋತ್ ಮೇಲ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಫೀಮೇಲ್ ರಿಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ಸ್ that can be seen in only one plant, so what is called a bisexual condition, and which are in different plant they are called unisexual plant ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಈಗ ಯಾವಾಗ ಮೇಲ್ ಮತ್ತು ಫೀಮೇಲ್ ರಿಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ಸ್ ಒಂದೇ ಫ್ಲವರಲ್ಲಿರುತ್ತೋ ಅಂಥದ್ದನ್ನು ನಾವು ಹೋಮೋಥ್ಯಾಲಿಕ್ ಅಥವಾ ಮೋನೋಯೇಷಿಯಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಈವನ್ ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಲೋವರ್ ಆರ್ಗನಿಸಮ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡ್ಬೋದು ನಾವು. ಓಕೆ, ಎಸ್ಪೆಷಲಿ ಆಲ್ಗೆ ಒಳಗಡೆ ನೋಡ್ಬೋದು, ಮತ್ತು ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಫಂಗಸಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡ್ಬೋದು. ಓಕೆ, ಹೋಮೋಥ್ಯಾಲಿಕ್ ನೋಡ್ಬೋದು. ಸೊ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಈವನ್ ಸಮ್ ಹೈಯರ್ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ಸ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಹೈಬಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಫ್ಲವರ್ಸ್ನ ನಾವು ತಗೊಂಡಾಗ ಹೋಮೋಥ್ಯಾಲಿಕ್ ಅನ್ನೋಕ್ಕೆ ಬರಲ್ಲ, ಬಟ್ ನಾವು ಮೋನೋಯೇಷಿಯಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಕರಿಬೋದು. ಓಕೆ, ನಾವು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಮೋ ಇಸ್ ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಬಟ್ ಸಿಮಿಲರ್. ಥ್ಯಾಲಸ್ ಅಂದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಅನ್ ಅ ಫ್ಲಾಟ್ ಬಾಡಿ, ಸೊ ವಿಚ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಬಿ ಸೀನ್ ಇನ್ ಸಮ್ ಬ್ರಯೋಫೈಟ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಥ್ಯಾಲಸ್ ವಿಚ್ ಇಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾವಿಂಗ್ ಸರ್ಟನ್ ಗ್ಯಾಮೆಕಪ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದಿಷ್ಟು ಗ್ಯಾಮೆಟ್ಸ್ಗಳು ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ನಾವು ಥ್ಯಾಲಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಬ್ರಯೋಫೈಟ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ. ಬಟ್ ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ ಮೇಲು ಮತ್ತು ಫೀಮೇಲ್ ಗ್ಯಾಮೆಟ್ ಅಥವಾ ಮೇಲ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಫೀಮೇಲ್ ರಿಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ಸ್ ಒಂದೇ ಫ್ಲವರ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಇದ್ದರೆ ಅದನ್ನು ನಾವು ಮೋನೋಯೇಷಿಯಸ್ ಅಥವಾ ಯೂನಿಸೆಕ್ಷುವಲ್ ಫ್ಲವರ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿಬೋದು. ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಹೆಟ್ರೋಥ್ಯಾಲಿಕ್ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಕರ್ತದೆ. ಹೆಟ್ರೋಥ್ಯಾಲಿಕ್ ಅಂದರೆ ನಾನು ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಹೇಳಿದೆ, ದ ಮೇಲ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಫೀಮೇಲ್ ರಿಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ಸ್ ವಿಚ್ ಆರ್ ಬಾರ್ನ್ ಇನ್ ಡಿಫರೆಂಟ್ ಫ್ಲವರ್. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದಟ್ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಇಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಬೈಸೆಕ್ಷುವಲ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿಬೋದು, ಅಥವಾ ಡೈಷಿಯಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿಬೋದು, ಅಥವಾ ಹೆಟ್ರೋಥ್ಯಾಲಿಕ್ ಅಂತಲೂ ಕರಿಬೋದು. Sexual male flower is called staminate, so which bears stamens, and female flower is called epistillate and the karitivi, which bears epistil or gynoecium. Come to the sexuality of organisms in case of animals. Sexuality condition ಹೇಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. So you can look here that unisexual and bisexual condition ಅಂತ ಬರೆದಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಅಗೇನ್ animals ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದಾಗ when both the male and female reproductive structures, if they are present in one organism, ನೋಡ್ರಿ, male and female reproductive structures that are present in one organism, we can call that as a hermaphrodite ಅಂತ ಆದರೂ ಕರಿಬೋದು, ಅಥವಾ bisexual condition ಅಂತ ಆದರೂ ಕರಿಬೋದು. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ಸ್ ಲೀಚ್ ಅಥವಾ ಟೇಪ್ವಾರ್ಮ್ and sponges, you can give an example for that. And unisexual anta bandaga, so you can give any examples in a higher vertebrates ಒಳಗಡೆ ನೀವು ಯಾವುದಾದ್ರೂ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಕೊಡ್ಬೋದು. amphibians ಒಳಗಡೆ, fishes ಒಳಗಡೆ, so you can give, because both the male and female reproductive structures that are present in different body of an organism, so male is separate and female is separate. And then cell division and during gamete formation. ಸೊ ಹಿಂಗಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಗ್ಯಾಮೆಟ್ ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಆಗಬೇಕಾಗಿದ್ರೆ ಸೆಲ್ ಡಿವಿಷನ್ ಭಾಳ ಎಸೆನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಪ್ರೋಸೆಸ್. ಓಕೆ, ಹಾಗಾದರೆ ಯಾವ ಥರದ ಸೆಲ್ ಡಿವಿಷನ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ? ದೇರ್ ಆರ್ 2 types ಆಫ್ ಸೆಲ್ ಡಿವಿಷನ್, ಇಸ್ಂಟ್ ಇಟ್? ಒಂದು ಮೈಟೋಸಿಸ್ ಇದೆ, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಮಿಯೋಸಿಸ್ ಇದೆ. ಹಾಗಾದರೆ ಯಾವ ಥರದ ಸೆಲ್ ಡಿವಿಷನ್ ಆಗಿ ಗ್ಯಾಮೆಟ್ಸ್ಗಳು ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಭಾಳ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್. ನಾವು 2 ಥರ ಕಲ್ತಿದ್ದೀವಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೆಟಿರೋಗ್ಯಾಮೆಟಿಕ್ ಸ್ಪೀಸಿಸ್ ಅಂತ ಬರ್ತಿದ್ದೀನಿ ನಾನು. ಹೆಟ್ರೋಗ್ಯಾಮೆಟಿಕ್ ಸ್ಪೀಸಿಸ್ ಅಂದರೆ ವೇರ್ ದ ಮೇಲ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಫೀಮೇಲ್ ರಿಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಬಾರ್ನ್ ಇನ್ ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್ ಬಾಡೀಸ್. ಅಂದರೆ ನಾನು ಹೇಳಿದ ಹೈಯರ್ ವರ್ಟಿಬ್ರೇಟ್ಸ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಯಾವುದಾದ್ರೂ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ತಗೊಳ್ಬೋದು, ಇನ್ಕ್ಲೂಡಿಂಗ್ ಬೆಸ್ಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಹ್ಯೂಮನ್ ಬೀಯಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ತಗೊಂಬಿಡಿ, ಈಸಿಯಾಗಿ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೋದು. ಮೇಲ್ ಈಸ್ ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಫೀಮೇಲ್ ಈಸ್ ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್. ಸೊ ದ ವೇರ್ ಸ್ಪರ್ಮ್ ಮತ್ತು ಎಗ್. Sperm is a male gamete that are produced in male, and egg is a female gamete produced in female body. So ಇವೆರಡನ್ನು ನಾವು ಡಿಪ್ಲಾಯ್ಡ್ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ವಾಟ್ ಡಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಮೀನ್ ಆಫ್ ಡಿಪ್ಲಾಯ್ಡ್? Diploid does not mean that the 2n number of chromosomes that are present. Means it is very simple. The gametes that are produced by mitosis and as well as meiosis. But because here the organism is in diploid condition, But when the organism is in haploid condition, the gametes that will be produced by mitotic division. So where in case of diploid organisms, we can call them gametes or myocytes ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಕರಿತೀವಿ ನಾವು. Okay. After gametogenesis, we are going to discuss about a gamete transfer. See, again, we are discussing this event after gametogenesis. Means already we discussed that gametogenesis does not mean that the process of formation of gametes in gonads. And once after the formation of gametes, we need to physically brought together the gametes to facilitate a fusion purpose. Okay, so that is nothing but gamete transfer. How to bring the gametes for fusion process or for purpose of fusion. Here you can see in case of lower organisms or in lower plants or in lower organisms like algae, bryophytes and pteridophytes. In these organisms, water is a major media for the transport of gametes. But in case of animals, the male gametes that are transferred into the female genital tract, we can in simple term we can call as an insemination process antanu kariತೀವಿ ನಾವು female. Okay, so we discussed that how the gamete transfer takes place in lower plants or lower organisms. But what about the higher plants? How actually the gamete transfer takes place? It is very simple, through by pollination process. As we already learned all these basic things in high school level, means where the transportation of male and female gametes means if they are present in one flower, it is very convenient and very easy to transfer the male gametes towards the female gamete. Means anther to the stigma of the flower. So it is easily transported because they are lies very close to each other in a bisexual condition. But in case of unisexual flower, so it need again the water or a wind are the major two ways for the transportation of gametes. Hence, so there is a beautiful creation by God, we can call that, because it's difficult to reach one male gamete towards the female gamete. So there is a chance of destroying, or sometime it may not reach the male gamete towards the female gamete. And what happens at that time? So hence, to compensate this, the anther, it produces the millions in number the pollen grains. So the pollen grains will transfer from anther to the stigma by wind or by water. And this is nothing but we used to call as a gamete transfer. Please try to understand gamete transfer. It doesn't mean that the gametes that are produced has to be transferred towards the female gamete. That is what we used to call as a gamete transfer. So before this, gametogenesis. Gametogenesis is nothing but the process of formation of gametes, and once after the formation of gametes, these gametes has to be transferred where? To facilitate the fusion process. So hence they need to be transferred. How? So there are a media which is required in case of lower plants. That is nothing but water. Water is a essential media for the transportation of gametes. But in some other higher plants like the pollination means the gametes that are transferred by and wind. Again in the next session. So because the video length must not expand more than 15 minutes, we may get bored to listen the class. So okay, so let us meet in again in the next session. So until that, take care, bye. So always you please remember that don't study for marks, study for knowledge. All the best, bye, take care.